So M, L, and N all intersect at point Q. The measures of the six angles. Now, of course, knowing what we know about how lines intersect, we know that any of these vertical angles, like V and Y, T and Z, X and W, they'll all be the same. And then we also know that any three angles that add up to a straight line, those will equal 180. So we probably aren't going to need a lot of angles to solve for all of them, but we're going to need the right ones. Let's see what we get in the statements. Statement 1 tells us the measure of Z is 1/2 the square of the measure of X. So that tells us that Z equals 1/2 X squared. But we don't have any numbers to fill in. We could substitute this if we had like some equations, but there's no numbers. So statement 1 is not going to be sufficient. We get rid of A and D. Statement 2 tells us that V plus W equals 130. So we know that this is 130. That tells us then that T must be 50, and then also Z must be 50. And it also tells us that X plus Y equals 130. However, we don't know what the individual X, Y, V, and W angles are. We just know that they add up to 130. So it could be 1 and 129, or 60 and 70, or whatever. So we don't have any specific numbers, so that's not going to be sufficient on its own. So we get rid of B. Together, we actually can do a little bit more. So if Z equals 1/2 X squared, we know that 1/2 X squared equals 50. X squared equals 100. Therefore, X equals 10. And so then these angles are 10 and 120, and then 10 and 120. So we could solve in conjunction there. The two statements together get us what we need.